Here with the moves to calm our minds and relax our bodies before bed is Seth Mohan. Good to see you, Seth, always.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Especially with the cool microphone. Who did you have to bribe to get one of those?
It's my TED Talk today.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I love them. Okay, so we're going to talk about calming ourselves down. And what do we need to think about right before we go to bed?
So, sleep is something I've been really obsessing about for a long time. You can see my shirt says Dada. I became a dad a couple of years ago. And so sleep became a really big part of just feeling good and being able to function.
Yes.
And one of the things we've talked about breath before.
Yeah.
And breath and sleep are really closely connected. And the reason for that is we have two types of our nervous system. There's the fight or flight.
Yeah.
And the rest and digest.
Okay.
And the inhale is activating and it puts us into that fight or flight mode. And the exhale is relaxing. It puts us into rest and digest. Okay. So for the purpose of sleep, what we want to do is we want to be more on the rest and digest. So you want to extend your exhale, lengthen the exhale, and slow the breath down.
Okay, should we practice?
Yeah. So you're
Let's do
breathing
it.
in and out through the nose. Just slow exhales.
You do it with your mouth closed, huh?
And while you're getting into your bedtime routine, you can start to have this breathing pattern be a part of that routine.
Yeah.
The other thing that oftentimes people, why they have a hard time sleeping is because of tension.
Right.
There's a few places in our body where we really hold on to tension. One of them is the jaw.
Yes,
right?
I have a mouth guard at night,
There you
so
go.
it's because of the grinding.
Grinding, and it's great for your jawline. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
But it's not so good for sleeping. So one of the things you want to do is before you sleep is your masseter muscle, which is that big chewing muscle that we have,
Yes.
is just to you can take your knuckles here, just the back of the fingers, and just relax your mouth.
Yeah.
And on the downward, you're relaxing that muscle. So essentially you're almost massaging it.
Yes.
You're lengthening that muscle down. And this is a way to loosen up the muscles in your jaw.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
Because
it's really-
I've been told by my dentist I have to be very intentional about not grinding my teeth because it'll
Totally.
break the enamel.
Yeah.
And then you're not relaxed, right? So
you're holding
really
that tension all
good.
night. If you have a gaucha, you can use that as well. That's a great way of doing
so
that.
So good.
Yeah.
Okay, so with the baby, how old is your child?
She's almost 3.
Almost 3.
Yeah.
Are you sleeping, Dada?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
so
we're sleep-
you're following your own tips.
Yes, yes.
All right, let's talk a little bit about poses we can do.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah?
So, getting into the jaw, the neck, that's
Yes.
the place where we hold on tension as well. So I just
Yeah.
like to do some rotations, easy rotations. You don't have to do a lot of them, but just enough that you feel like you've loosened up some of the muscles around the neck and upper back going both ways. And also movement helps to lubricate the joints. So if you're sitting at a desk and you're rounding your back a lot, this is a nice way to just release that tension. So coming down from the jaw, the neck, now we're going to get into the upper back and the chest. I'm going to get into the bed here. This is an extended puppy pose.
Okay.
And the way that this looks is your hips are on top of the knees. You bring your forearms down onto the mat or onto the bed if you're doing it on the bed. And you extend the elbows away from you. An option is to bring your forehead on the mat. If you prefer, you can also have your chin down as long as that's okay for your neck. And what this does is helps to stretch the upper back, but it also helps to open up the airways.
Okay.
That was one thing that Lisa was mentioning as well, is keeping the airways open is really important for when we're sleeping.
So is this what my dog is doing when he's doing this pose?
Exactly. and you'll notice oftentimes after dogs do this, they yawn.
They do.
Right? It's because this is how they sort of get that more air into their systems.
Yeah.
So you can spend about 30 seconds here. It feels really good to just hang out here. And then transitioning from here into child's pose, where you take your knees a little bit wider and you bring your sit bones down closer to the heels.
Yeah.
And now you bring here. If your knees are in any kind of pain here, you can bring a folded blanket or towel in between your calf and thighs just so your knees are not in deep flexion.
Nice.
And then relaxing here, resting your forehead down.
Lovely.
And really breathing into your lower back. Often we think about breath just happening in the front part of our chest.
Yeah.
But the breath can also go into the lower and mid back. So you want to open up that space, and breathing there can help release tension in the lower and mid back as well. So just relaxing here.
Such a good tip, because I find it hard to breathe when I'm in child's pose. It's because you need to be putting your breath back there.
Exactly, because your breath
Okay.
will be restricted in the front,
Yes.
so you can send it into the lower and mid back here.
Nice.
So once again, 30 seconds, a minute. You can hang out here for a little while longer, and then flipping over onto your back.
It's almost bedtime.
Almost
We're
bedtime.
getting there.
We're getting there.
Yay.
And as you get onto your back, you're here, and we start off first by extending the legs up.
Okay.
And what this does is one of the things, it brings the blood flow from your feet into the heart. So you're actually refreshing the blood that's been sitting in the legs for a while.
Yep.
Lifting the legs also helps to soothe the nervous system. So it's really great just to help promote sense of relaxation. You can even bring a bit of a stretch here by using your hands. We then move into happy baby, taking your knees as wide as it will go. Hands come on the inside. You reach up to grab your shins, ankles, feet, whatever you can hold on to comfortably. And then using your arms to open up into the inner thighs. Hips is another place where we hold on to tension in our bodies.
Yeah.
So stretching into those areas is really good just to help feel relaxed all over. You can go a little bit side to side. Find that happy baby, that joyful energy.
I'm saying if I'm doing happy baby and my husband walks in the room, I'm not getting any sleep that night. but it's good for the person doing the happy baby. I hope that you get some sleep, but I don't know if I will do that. But it's a good one for the back and everything. Do you have any more, I guess, Shavasana? You want to end
we
with
go
that?
into Shavasana. Before we go into Shavasana, I like to do a very concentrated squeeze here where you're actually bringing up as much tension in the body as you can. So you're scrunching the muscles of your face, you're bringing your arms, your legs, everything to get as tight as you can, and really squeezing yourself into a ball, and then holding that for a few breaths, and then you release, and just like a spring uncoils, you take up space and you find that relaxation.
I love it, Seth. Thank you so much for that. We couldn't find a bed big enough for Seth, but we do want to give a big thank you to our friends at IKEA for this entire bedroom set. It is gorgeous. And enjoy some shopping on us. Everyone in our audience is going to go home with an IKEA gift card. Go find you some great IKEA products. Seth, thank you for that.